Well, we're back. Yeah, sorry for being gone so long all. We were busy.
My goodness, this is insane.
This is insane!
It is insane. Bro, I've got like all of the freaking armies of the Bashazar coming after me all at the same time.
But since we're nearly done now, and since YouTube still wants a couple videos out of me, I think it's time for an update. Before anything, I wanted to say thanks for the support on the initial video. Reference, we were expecting about 200 people to see it. The number we got was 600 times that, and it didn't really click how many people that was until we could watch the number go up ourselves. Thanks. 1.21 is nearly done now, and with it comes a bunch of changes that both bring the pack closer to vanilla and further from the original balance in some of the more extreme ways that have appeared so far. For starters, the pack is now on fabric, and the underlying code, though not exactly elegant, is substantially better than it used to be. It's actually readable by a normal human being. Additionally, Tetra, the modular tools that we worked so hard to make work in the old versions, is gone. And the same goes for enchantment, which, despite being a fabric mod, is mysteriously absent in this pack. This is because we finally figured out an alternative enchanting style that we think fills the vanilla plus role without being any more of a faff. In case you're wondering, sharpness and protection are not coming back. More on this later. To be honest, most of the changes that we've done for this version are more refinements to the formula that we've already had from the last. Editing the drop chances, making dev items waterlog, that sort of thing. But we have experience now, and the added time has given us some room to focus on the few things we wanted to change that take a little more skill and time to implement that we just didn't have last time. Mechanics such as experience have been completely changed. Experience itself has been removed for one, with orbs now granting trace amounts of satiation for your trouble. This more or less erases the problem of experience's effects in the enchanting system entirely, but still rewards the player for engaging with the funny noises. It also helps marginally with the Nether food shortage, and reduces the risk of dying in the end during the Ender Dragon's death sequence, which has never been fun. I'm sure that there's no possible way speedrunners could ever possibly mess that up. In fact, the bulk of the update going out is in how we're implementing the newest features and how we're tweaking them to follow our design philosophy. We still want to maintain the original goal of keeping normal roughly the same difficulty as vanilla, but we've had to find space to maneuver in some of the enemies that have since their inception been hard done by. For one, we can take a look at wither skeletons. It's very hard for them to deal damage through a player's armour, but we didn't want to just upgrade their weapons, because that distracts from their visual design, and it still doesn't solve the problem that they're too similar to Endermen. They function roughly the same as they used to, but make use of one of the new enchantments we've added. When a wither skeleton hits you with their sword now, they build up wither. Each hit adds another stack. If you build up to 3 wither, the wither skeleton switches to a hoe. It subtracts all of the wither effects from you and deals all of the remaining damage at once, which is very likely to one-shot you, particularly in higher difficulties. It deals this damage through armour as well, which is the theme that we've used to develop the Nether Fortress. Because the player can go to the Nether Fortress with a variety of different equipment, we've made the decision to make the 2 major threats there, in wither skeletons and blazes, both have a means to deal magic damage. The blaze has gone mostly unchanged, but we have tweaked the melee. It now hits much more often with lower damage magic attacks, but they still don't really want to use that melee, unless you're equipped with fire resistance. A couple of other entities have also received rather major changes. With the advent of the creaking, we knew we had to do something to it because the creaking is essentially a non-issue in vanilla. So we've tweaked it in a manner that befits its purpose more. In vanilla, the creaking deals 4-5 damage. In the rebalance, it's 9. The Warden has actually been slightly nerfed. After doing the maths, I found that the Warden was doing 45 damage in 1 hit, which is perfectly fine for vanilla, but in the rebalance, protection doesn't exist, which means that a Warden could one-shot you through gold armour. We thought that was a bit overkill, so his damage has been substantially nerfed. However, both the Creaking and Warden are subjects to a new debuff that doesn't appear anywhere else in the game. Shattered. Shattered is a simple debuff that reduces your armor's effectiveness. there are only 2 creatures that apply it, and both of them apply it for a considerable length of time. Those of you that have already done some modding in other games may be aware of a similar feature in Calamity, but this isn't used for the same purpose. In Calamity, its purpose is to prevent the player from just sitting on top of the boss and taking no damage, but here it is intended to discourage the player from fighting the enemies at all, and to even out the playing field for people who haven't been able to get as good armor as any others trying the event. It should still be noted that Shattered does not affect armor toughness, so those looking to get diamond or dendrite equipment are still benefiting. But even with that armor, you're going to want to look at regeneration or resistance to be able to take more than a couple. Besides all the functional changes, we've also made a couple of changes to how music is chosen. Previously, and besides the obvious point of there being a massive delay between tracks, there are also a bunch of tracks that exclusively played under certain specific conditions that often a player would just never find in-game. For example, there are 3 tracks exclusive to your being underwater when they start, that you probably have never heard before. Axolotl, Dragonfish, and Shiniji. All made by C418 for the Ocean update nearly 8 years ago. And that's not even mentioning all of the tracks that are in Minecraft Volume Alpha or Beta that don't even appear in the game, which was a source of some hilarity for us while developing this. Where's... Who's Chris?
Chris.
Okay, where are we putting Chris? What the hell? I've never heard this track before. Yeah.
I've heard
No,
this.
I haven't heard this track before.
There is some in there. That should be in the game, but they aren't.
That's true.
Dog is another good one. Dog is a great one.
Yeah. Oh, is Dog not in the game? What do you mean
No.
Dog's not in the
No,
game?
we have cat, but not dog.
It's only in I think the Xbox, the Legacy Console edition.
What do you mean it's only on the Legacy? What are you doing?
It plays at the end of CAS and Legacy Console, and that's the only place it appears in any version of the game.
For us, it's always been disappointing when we find a new track on the OST that just never appears in-game. So we've tweaked how music works to be just a little more consistent. The delay between tracks has been reduced to only 5 to 10 seconds. We wanted to make it a perfect loop, but we couldn't do that without changing the music itself. And neither of us are music designers. We don't know how to do that. In addition, rather than have all of the music tied to a bunch of different biomes, each biome now only has 2 or 3 different tracks that can play. This means that not only is the music consistent, but there's slightly more grounding in the audio design between which biome you're in. The final change I'd like to talk about is world gen. We were reasonably happy with how world gen worked out in the first version, so rather than alter the terrain, we've focused on how biomes are distributed. In vanilla, it can be difficult to build in a specific biome due to how small most biomes generate. A problem this isn't aided by how obtuse biome weighting is, or the presence of certain biomes that are little more than minor alterations of already existing ones. In the rebalance, we've removed the 1 or 2 duplicate biomes from the pool and semi-amplified every biome we could, making them larger without making them feel like a slog to get through. So when are you getting all this? We're not sure specifically. About a week. Maybe tomorrow. Look, we still need to deal with a couple of the enchantments before we can actually release it, and after that it still needs to get a once over by Modpack, but it's not going to be any longer than a week. Oh yes, a lot of people wanted to talk about this to us, so there's a Discord server now. I should mention that it's definitely a temporary solution. We were going to go for something fancier, but usability concerns and time got in the way. But it'll do the trick if you still want to come and tell us our code sucks. Come check it out.
Bigger biomes plus less of the ugly ones.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. That's what you need.
It genuinely is.